gifted from my neighbor with this kind of drawer, and on wheels actually, so very comfort, and it's just a simple white plastic drawer. I think maybe normally used from hairdressers or something, because it seems like this is this kind of ring that you use to hold the hair dryer or something. So I was gifted from my neighbor. He asked me if I need it because he was going to throw it away to the container park. So I was like, no, wait 1 second, it's really great for my storage, because I definitely need extra stocking place here in my atelier. So I was like, I'm definitely gonna keep it, but it was on a white color, super ugly, honestly. Nothing to do with white, but I mean, it's already a plastic thing and it's white, shiny, and no, I don't like it. So I was like, let's check some spray paint, like super easy to do, cheap and stuff. And I went to the do-it-yourself shop and I found this spray little paint, and it was in this pink, princess pink color. I guess normally used for children rooms or something, and of course I was completely sold from the color, so I decided to buy this one and just spray paint it. And it's not even painted on the inside because I didn't want to use too many bottles and stuff, so I just bought one. I first sprayed paint all the outside, and actually this one, this holder was also white. Instead this was black, but I prefer to keep it black because let's make it a little bit punk and rock and roll. This princess, pink princess, so I only spray painted this other one. But I mean, it's really, of course it's not the most beautiful drawer in the world, and but I mean it was for free and it's still really in okay condition, so of course I wanted to keep it. No garbage, great, it's really okay. It works like you need to pull up the door. Normally it's sliced back, yes, and then you have like drawers that come out like this. So the same underneath. So normal, right? And then here is extra storage. Find it super comfort, and you have here holder, you have here holder. This is perfect to hold my brushes, for example, for the paint. And I just to find a glass that fits in it, but that's totally not difficult. And so yeah, now I need to decide just what to put in it. I'm not yet sure. Maybe it's just I don't know, maybe material to sew, which I always hold all around in pots or in glasses and stuff, cups, which is not really the meaning. So I want maybe store it in here, maybe underneath, and then on top I will maybe store some colors or paints, pencils, whatever. And on the side I still have space. I was thinking maybe to hold my cables, because I always lay around all of my computer cables, iPad cables, phone charger, photo camera bag, and chargers and stuff. So I will use maybe these two for this with this meaning. And yeah, so I don't know, I mean it moves, it has wheels, it's super lightful, easy to move around, it's really great. I'm really happy, and now I will just try to fill in what I can. That my grandma hand sew for me, just before I left for Belgium, I remember my grandma is not here anymore. She died around 4 years ago. She was a seamstress, and I used to grow up with her, and that's where I actually got my inspiration about making things with my hands, you know, and especially about fabrics, and especially in this sense of following this sort of desire to recycle things, because I was used to grow up with her, and she was used to hand sew kind of fabric samples she got from tapestry shop that she was used to know the owner, the actual owner, and he gifted her every time these kind of sample swatches that she got from companies when they want to show you new fabrics, new collections and stuff. And he gifted her all the time at the end of the season with these big books full of swatches and stuff. And what she made out of it were these very big beds, blankets kind of, very beautiful, made always with these brocade fabrics full of colors and textures. And I remember I grew up always in this atmosphere, like looking her making step by step, piece by piece, this very huge blankets and covers for beds made out of leftovers or stocks of little samples stitched one by one with each other in order to make a very big, beautiful looking cover out of it. So that she gifted those to my mother to wear other songs, and then sometimes she sold them also, and this is something I keep always with me, and it was one of the last things she made for me, she gave me, and it's where I hold my Canton needle for embroidery and my little embroidery scissor. Justified for me. It's like violence. It's not that you hit the person because he makes you angry. No, what I say is that war for me doesn't have to be justified. War doesn't have to exist. Point. Like violence. In 2022 it cannot be anymore. So with this, that's what I mean.
Shout out to those who made it before, and I want to send a little
And so here I am, finally working with my punch needle for the very first time. And to be honest, I really, really loved it. Um, I never used the punch needle before. This was my first time, as I said, and that's because I was used before to use the Kantan needle, which is another kind of needle, and it's a Japanese one, and it's normally used for applying like very little kind of things like paillettes and seeds to dresses. So of course it is another function basically than to make kind of drawings in form of an embroidery. But I also loved it. I mean, it has been till now my way to embroider for, let's say, the fastest way. So I used the Kantan needle to embroider fast, and that was fine. But what I didn't like sometimes was the thickness of the lines. They were always a bit too thin, and that was why, because the needle itself, it's very thin, and you have to be careful while you use your thread that it stays thin and not too thick, otherwise you're gonna break your needle. With punch needle, of course, it's another way of embroidering, and that's what I actually very much like. First and second is the speed that you work, and you can make like huge spaces filled in like I don't know, 10-15 minutes. It's incredible. It's really amazing. Even if I was just using it for the first time, even then I felt like from moment one very, very fast. And obviously I made few mistakes, and I was already facing moments where I was like, okay, wait, this is not gonna work well and it doesn't look good, and let's fix this and fix that and find solutions and stuff. And so I started to understand the reason why you can slide your needle more in or more out depending on the loop, the length of the loop that you want to keep, and it's amazing, and I really loved it. And this project that you are gonna see in this video is my very first punch needle project, and I loved it. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, so
That one going out to each and every one of you in the chat room. I appreciate ya. It's all good, it's all nice, it's soup to nuts.
So what I'm gonna do now is I will check out my design and all the filled in spaces. And since this was my very first time with oh my hair, with my don't mind my hair, please. But again, since this was my very first time punch needling, of course I made mistakes, because that's obvious, and that's okay, because I already learned out of it. That's also the reason why I wanted to make already such a big work, even though it was my first time. So what I'm gonna do now is I will check every single filled part, and I will check the loops that went loose. So I will show you, because then maybe it's easier to understand. For example, the pink flower was my very first part, which I filled in, and as you can see, there are parts where my thread went loose, and that's because, like here for example, that's because sometimes at my very beginning I didn't see that during the process of punch needling. I really didn't see it, and that's because I was not used of the technique, and that's totally obvious, and that's totally fine. And so what I'm gonna do now is to check out very good all of these all these loose loops, and try to fix them out in a way that to me seems to be okay. I'm gonna show you how I do that, and I hope it's gonna be fixed well. So it's an experiment, it's my first time, so thanks to this project, I will be able to see what I learned and how I can improve for the next embroidery. But the overall design looks very amazing in my eyes. I really like it. I'm not sure about the ear. Probably I need to fill into. I think I'm gonna fill this to the ear in blue. I mean turquoise because it's not blue. So let's see together. Let's see together. Over here. Wait. This one, you see, is too long. It's not that measure, which is around 5 millimeters or less, but it's more. It's like 1 centimeter, 0.5. So it's too long, and that means it will be loose, and that's not okay because, of course, since I want to use this as a pillow cover, it needs to be strong. The threads needs to be strong and stay. So what I'm gonna do now is to just create a kind of loop over, which I will make like very tiny so that you don't really see it, and so that can actually it has the function to block our thread. So I would just go in here just next to our loop. I will pull my thread out like I always do when I want to start punch needling. So in the back side I'm pulling the thread to start, and then I will just make a little loop around it, and then I go back so that I create a sort of little X around this seam. Now I'm going to make a notch behind so that the thread is good closed and nothing will get out. Okay. I'll pull it to the back. Yes, and I'm going to close it on the back side. So I don't know how that happens all the time, but this atelier gets always super messy. I don't even know how. So it's Sunday, I'm at the atelier, and I think I'm gonna first make some proper space around me, like I need to tie it up a little bit, and then I will keep on working on my punch needle pillow, and let's see what I can do.
Very cool.
This was my first time, so you see the first, there's a lot of loops open, so this I need to close also. But here was already the last that I did, and it's much clearer.
Yeah, I see it.
So it's like this, the
Very
beginning
cool.
is always dirty. Now I do the hair. The purple. Mimo?
I was 5 when my father died, and for some months I didn't show any major symptoms of trauma. But then I developed this nightmare, which was horrible and it was repetitive.